got so much fucking design on right now.
Zhao Lusi'S silent sacrifice for Leowu, the truth fans never knew. She smiled for the cameras. But behind that smile was a choice, one that changed both of their lives. What if I told you that while the world was busy praising her grace and charm, Zhao Lusi was fighting a quiet, invisible battle, a battle she chose to face alone, to protect the one person she cared about most? And what if that person was Leowu? This is the story of her silence, her sacrifice, and the truth the world never knew. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The storm before the silence. It began on a bright spring morning. The kind of day that usually brings joy to fans: new drama teasers, glowing interviews, the beautiful pairing of two of China's brightest stars, Zhao Lusi and Leowu. Their chemistry on screen had been undeniable. Their smiles, effortless. Their banter, real. And soon, the lines between fiction and reality began to blur. Fans started calling them the golden pair. Rumors spread that their closeness extended beyond the camera lens. And for a while, no one denied it. Until one day, everything changed. A single tabloid headline. A blurred photo. A whisper that grew louder with every hour. Leowu spotted leaving Zhao Lusi's apartment late at night. The story went viral within minutes. Reporters flooded social media. His management panicked. Her endorsements hung in the balance. And in the middle of it all, Zhao Lusi made a decision. The choice she never spoke about. Inside a conference room filled with tense silence, Zhao Lusi sat across from her team. Phones buzzed, screens flashed with Weibo alerts, and someone whispered, "If this keeps spreading, Leo's next project could be affected." She said nothing. She just listened. Then, finally, she spoke. "Then let me take it." Her manager looked up. "What do you mean?" "Let them say it was me," she said quietly. "Let them think I was the one chasing him. Don't let this touch his name." No one in that room spoke for a full 10 seconds. Because they all knew what that meant. It meant her reputation would take the hit. It meant months, maybe years, of whispered rumors. It meant being labeled the girl who loved too much, too openly. But Zhao Lusi didn't flinch. "He's worked too hard for this," she said softly. "I can handle it." And with that, she signed off on a statement that shifted the blame, ever so subtly, toward herself. She didn't lie. But she allowed the world to misunderstand. The quiet that followed when the story broke, fans noticed the difference immediately. Leowu went silent. No interviews. No posts. His agency released a calm statement: "Mr. Wu remains focused on his work and has no comment regarding personal rumors." Zhao Lusi, meanwhile, faced the storm head-on. Paparazzi chased her through airports. Reporters shouted questions that cut like knives. "Are you in love with Leowu? Did you pursue him first? Did he reject you?" And every single time, she answered the same way, with a smile. "Please don't misunderstand," she'd say softly. "We're just colleagues. He's a wonderful person." That was all. No anger. No bitterness. Just grace. But behind those calm eyes, was a woman holding back tears, because she knew exactly what she had chosen to lose. The project she turned down a few weeks later, a new opportunity came her way, a big international drama that could have taken her career to the next level. The role was perfect. The buzz was real. But there was one problem. The show was being marketed as a rival project to the film Leowu was currently promoting. Zhao Lusi looked at the script, at the offer, at her reflection in the mirror. And she said quietly, "Not this one." Her team protested. "This could redefine your career." She only smiled. "Some things matter more than numbers." To the public, her decision looked professional. To those who knew her, it was personal. Because she knew that if she took that project, the narrative would turn again. Zhao Lusi outshines Leowu, competition between rumored couple, and the endless storm would start all over. So she stepped back. Silently. Gracefully. And she let him have the spotlight. When he finally realized months passed, the rumors died down. Both returned to work, separate projects, separate paths. But Leowu noticed. He noticed that her social media presence had dimmed. That she wasn't taking as many roles. That she avoided interviews that mentioned his name. And one night, during a small industry dinner, he found himself sitting across from her again. For the first time in months. She smiled politely, as she always did. But there was something quieter about her now. After the crowd thinned, he finally asked, "Why did you do it?" She looked at him, her expression unreadable. Do what? Take the fall. Turn down the show. Pretend you didn't care. For a moment, she said nothing. Then, she placed her glass down gently. Because some things are better protected than explained, she said softly. And I didn't want the world to hurt you for something that was never your fault. He blinked, stunned, because he realized, right then, that while he had been worried about his career, she had been worrying about him. Lucy, he whispered, but she shook her head. It's okay. Just promise me one thing, when they talk about that time, don't defend me. Just let them believe whatever they want. Why? Because I'd rather they misunderstand me, than misunderstand you. And with that, she walked away. The moment that shook the fanbase, the story remained buried, hidden behind polite interviews and quiet smiles, until a year later, during an award show interview, a reporter asked Leowu an unexpected question. You and Zhao Lusi were once surrounded by many rumors. Looking back now, what would you like to say to her? He paused. Then, in front of the cameras, he smiled sadly and said, "Some people give more than the world ever sees. And I'll never forget that." The internet erupted. Fans knew instantly what he meant. Clips of Zhao Lusi's old interviews resurfaced, her calm, her patience, her silence, and the truth finally began to take shape. She had protected him. She had shielded him when he didn't even realize he needed it. And for the first time, fans saw Zhao Lusi not just as an actress, but as a woman who loved quietly, sacrificed deeply, and asked for nothing in return. The return of the past. It was a quiet winter evening in Beijing, cold, sharp, the kind of night that feels heavier than most. Leowu was attending a charity gala, a simple event, or so everyone thought. But as he took the stage to deliver his short speech, no one expected what came next. He began like he always did, calm, polite, measured. But midway through his words, his tone shifted. He stopped reading from the teleprompter. He looked up. And for a long moment, he just stood there, staring at the crowd, then at the blinking cameras. You know, he began softly, I've made mistakes. Not the kind that hurt careers, but the kind that hurt people. The audience went still. This wasn't the script. There was someone. Someone who stood by me when she didn't have to. Someone who took the fall for something that wasn't her fault. The room froze. Everyone knew who he meant, though he never said her name. She was kind. Quiet. She smiled when she should have fought back. And I let her face the noise alone. His voice trembled slightly, and for the first time in years, Leowu looked vulnerable. I thought silence would protect her. But I realize now, silence is just another form of selfishness. The crowd shifted uneasily, the air thick with emotion. He took a slow breath. If she's listening, I just want to say thank you. And I'm sorry. For letting you carry something that should have been mine too. The moment that broke the internet within minutes, the clip went viral. Weibo exploded with hashtags. Hashtag Leowu apologizes, hashtag Zhaolusi truth, hashtag silent sacrifice revealed. Every corner of the internet buzzed with disbelief, admiration, and heartbreak. Fan pages flooded with old videos, Zhao Lusi smiling through uncomfortable interviews, deflecting questions, protecting him without ever explaining why. One fan wrote, "All those times she smiled and said, 'We're just colleagues,' she wasn't denying him. She was protecting him." Another said, "This is what real love looks like. Not loud. Not public. Just pure." By morning, the entire nation was talking. The legacy years later, when people speak of Zhao Lusi and Leowu, they don't just talk about their dramas or on-screen chemistry. They talk about this story. The story of a woman who chose silence over self-preservation. And a man who learned too late the cost of that silence. It became a symbol of humility, of gratitude, of what love looks like when it doesn't need to be loud. Because sometimes, the most powerful love story isn't the one that ends in happily ever after. It's the one that ends in understanding. And that is the truth fans never knew, until he finally spoke.